Hello, welcome to Java Programming Tutorials, Chapter 12, Methods in Java, brought to you by Ankpro Technologies. My name is Harish. So in this session, we are going to learn about the methods in Java. So, what is a method? Method in Java is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform an operation. So, what do you mean by this? So, without wasting much time, let me jump into Eclipse and let me show you a demo of it. So, here is my file. So let me open the Java project. Okay, here I have a class. So what I need to do right now is I need to uh, add two numbers. Okay, so what I do is int a is equal to 10 and int b is equal to 20. Int c equals a plus b, and again it's very simple. We know how to print it on the console with the help of system.out.print ln. So it's C. So now when I run this program, we're going to get the output as 30. Suppose I need to execute the same addition code. Okay, I need to call the same addition, same program in my, imagine we have in the 10th 15 16 some, this piece of, in these lines we have some other code. After that I need to execute the same piece of code again. So in the sense the same thing I need to execute again. So but let me assign the variables differently. It is x and it is y. So let me print this side. So the logic is same, you can observe very clearly. Now let me run, we'll get the same output. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to repeat our logic every time. So here we have code duplication is happening. So to avoid that, what we do is we will define our logic at one place and we'll call that logic in our main method everywhere wherever we need it. So what is that thing where we are going to write the logic? That is called as function. So let me define the function: public static, okay, it's void, it's add, it's addition method. So let me, what I'll do is let me take int a equals 20, or else, yeah, that is fine, 20. Then int b is equal to 30. Then int c is equal to a plus b. Then system dot out dot print ln. Okay, we are going to print c. So now what I'll do is I'll just call this add method wherever I need in my main method, in my program. So now what I'll do, I'll run this piece of code. You can observe it's executing 50, and again after, okay, somewhere in my 16th 17th line I need to, between that we have some other code. So in my 8th 17th line I need to call again the add method. So again I'll run the project, I'll get the output 50 and 50. So what I'm trying to explain here is what is method. Method is a collection or set of statements. Okay, we'll write it at one place and we'll call that place with the name, okay, such that we'll avoid the code duplication, the logic duplication again and again. So this is called as method. So if you want to define the method, I'll tell you again, if you want to define the method, you have to follow this syntax present here. So the syntax is, first you have to specify the modifier. So what do you mean by the modifier? The modifier is this public access modifier, public, private. Okay, these are the modifiers. We are going to learn about the modifiers perfectly in the coming sessions. As of now, if the first thing we have to specify, if you want to create a method, is modifier, then we have to specify the return type. Okay, here we don't have the return type, we have the void return type. Right now it's not going to return anything, so we have the return type as void. And again you can observe very clearly it takes parameter. Okay, if your method takes parameter, then you can pass that, and within this curly braces you have to define your logic, or you have to write the set of statements. That's what I've done here. So let me precise this addition method in a very simple manner. So what I'll do is, this is method is not written anything, so I'll tell now like this method is going to return the int type. Okay, so I'll take parameters int a comma int b, and this method what it is going to do is it's going to return a plus b. So it's going to return a plus b. So when what I'll do is I'll just call this add method here. So when I call the add method, okay, I have to pass the parameters, so it's 20 comma 30. So now what I'll do is I'll store it in some variable of int type, yes, is equal to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print that system dot out print ln, so it is res. So now when I run this program, you can observe very clearly we are going to get the output as 50. Okay, now I can call this method again for some other numbers. So it is res1, but here it is 100. So now when I run this piece of code, you can observe here 50 and 130. So what I'm trying to explain here is, what is a method? Method is a collection of statements. We'll define it at one place and we'll call that method anywhere in our program if we need it with its name. Okay, and if your method takes parameters, then you have to pass it, otherwise not needed. So this is the advantage of using a method. I hope you understood like what is method, and here is the syntax of a method. Okay, first we have to specify the modifier, then the return type, followed by the method name, and if your method takes a parameter, then you have to pass the parameters, then you have to write the logic within this curly braces. Okay, and that ends like what is a method. So thank you for listening. Have a great day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Ankpro Training. You can also like our Facebook page visiting this URL. You can also follow us on Twitter. Further reference, refer website. We're on LinkedIn too. Last but not the least, please don't forget to give the feedback. Thank you. Have a great day.